100.7 FM, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. The time is 4 p.m.
Please enter your secret number.
Identifying 100.7.
Access granted.
Nigerians.
Mind-blowing sound, ladies and gentlemen. The party starts now.
100.7 FM.
For more than 3 years, in this region has been dominant for more than 3 years. Nigeria as a whole is now free. In the organization of African Unity, and not the organization and the community left. Audience that have a concentration. Governing for more than 3 years. Nigeria as a whole is now free and independent. We also give continued active support to the organization of African Unity, the United Nations organization, and the community left. I would like to remind this audience that in this hall today we have a concentration of the leading agitators, mischief makers that the world has ever known. Is that all these agitators and mischief makers desire a better world for human beings to live in. Dear Nation Nigeria is today the focus of the entire international community.
Hello there. Welcome once again to Politics on Melody, POM on Melody 100.7 FM here in the city of IB, the city of Ibadan. Politics on Melody, if you're listening for the very first time, is a program that strictly focuses on political happenings around us, be it local, national, or foreign. Here we speak politically, and we say we do it politically. So politically speaking, welcome to Politics on Melody 100.7 FM in Ibadan. The very last Wednesday and the very last edition of the program for the month of June 2025. My name is Pretty Adegoke, reaching you live from the city of Ibadan. Today on the show, majority of Nigerians might still be in the year 2025, but to our politicians, it's all about 2027, as no day will pass by without them shouting 2027. The 2027 discussion is all they do now, nothing else. Some people have even accused the present administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of abandoning governance for politicking ahead of the 2027 election. So, as the gimmicks continue ahead of the 2027 election, El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State and a very staunch, he used to be a staunch supporter of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but right now, friends have become fools. El-Rufai says President Tinubu will not survive the onslaught that ADA coalition, they have a coalition now, they call the ADA coalition. The President Tinubu will not survive the coalition, the onslaught the coalition is bringing and is working on. You will hear him talk about that and much more on the show today. Now for the opt-in time, Senator Alin Dume is criticizing the Tinubu presidency, calling it a government made up of mostly and of course dominated by kleptocrats. That's how I call them. Kleptocrats. What does he mean by that? The Borno senator is of the APC, but he has never stopped criticizing the reforms of the President Bola Tinubu-led administration. You will hear him. What is the latest thing he's saying about the presidency and the APC? And now the platform that the ADA coalition intends to use to unseat the APC and Tinubu in 2027, the Social Democratic Party SDP has started having its own problem again. It has started to experience internal wranglings. A party that was very stable at a point has started witnessing internal wranglings now, as some of the NWC members have decided to suspend their party chairman. They have accused him of embezzlement, high-handedness, financial recklessness. That's everything they've accused him of. And some of his escorts say he doesn't deserve to be their chairman. But the chairman says, no way, it can't happen. You can never suspend me. You also hear from the chairman and what he feels about the suspension. Plus, the trouble with the PDP continues as the meeting with INEC to find a way to hold the proposed NEC meeting that was supposed to happen. Yeah, they proposed a NEC meeting for Monday. The meeting they had yesterday with INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu ended in deadlock. So what is the way out for the PDP? Is there any way out at all? We will get there as we roll on the show. This is a beautiful evening. So welcome once again. As you already know, the program is loaded. As always, just sit back and relax. Let's get it pumping and let's get it started. But first, let's start with your political roundup. Yeah, let's begin with some political roundup stories. And let's begin with the news that broke a while ago in Abuja, where the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, the umbrella party, has restated. There's a restated Samuel Anyanwu, they call him Sandadi Inoweri, to his position as the National Secretary of the party. At a press briefing a while ago in Abuja, Ambassador Ilya Damagum, the acting national chairman of the party, made the announcement alongside Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, former Senate President Bukola Saraki, and other key stakeholders, where he said the decision to reinstate Anyanwu into the National Working Committee, NWC, was challenging. It was a tough one, a very difficult one, but ultimately they had to accept, because majority of party members had to say this is what they wanted. He also announced the cancellation of the proposed NEC meeting earlier scheduled to hold next Monday. He said there will be an expanded caucus meeting where they will take a decision concerning a proper NEC meeting. When it will happen, they will definitely let us know. This is what Umar Ilya Damagum, chairman, or let me say, acting national chairman of the party, PDP, what he said earlier a while ago.
The National Secretary. I think that's the most important thing. We have no option but to abide by the decision. After due consultation and everything, we thought it's a bitter pill, but we have to swallow it. Whether I want to use this opportunity to call on all our party faithful to know that it was a difficult decision, but survival of the party is more than all of us, more than everything that you feel that you yearn for.
You heard him right there. Umar Damagum there, the acting chairman of the PDP. So whether they like it or not, what it means now, Nyesom Wike had his way again. And who says Nyesom is not bigger than the PDP? Isn't what Nyesom Wike is bigger than the PDP the way it is right now? What he wanted, he got. Samuel Ayaw. So what does that mean for the PDP? With Nyesom Wike having his way again? With Sam Dadi becoming or going back to his position after all they said, after all they did. Oh my God, politics is sweet in Nigeria. Okay, see, moving on with the news. Taraba State Government has denied the speculations that it had nominated the incumbent Deputy Speaker of the State Assembly, Haman Adamu Adamu, as the new Deputy Governor of the state. The State Commissioner for Information, Zainab Jalingo, in a press briefing today, described the information as misleading, insisting that there is no vacancy in the office of the Deputy Governor and that the current Deputy Governor, Aminu Akali, remains the duly elected Deputy Governor of Taraba State. You know, the Deputy Governor has been very ill for some time, so his position has continued to be vacant. That is why there has been speculation in Taraba that the Deputy Speaker is being nominated to replace the ailing Deputy Governor of the state. But with this information coming through, anyway, the state government therefore called on the public to remain calm and to rely on verified information from official government communication channels. The commissioner further disclosed that the process of replacing the deputy governor as contained in the Nigerian constitution is clear. Due legislative and constitutional procedures is required, and such process has not been initiated or contemplated at this time. The Independent National Electoral Commission Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu, Professor he has revealed that the Commission has so far received offers and letters of intent from a whopping 110 associations who are seeking to register as political parties in Nigeria ahead of the 2027 general election. Yakubu made a disclosure today during next second quarterly consultative meeting with media executives held in Abuja. The INEC chairman said that as of 2 days ago, that's June 23 on Monday, the commission had received the letters and was diligently processing them in accordance with electoral laws and guidelines. So those are the political roundup stories at this time. Let's get into it right now. Let's get into it. The news came through yesterday that the SDP chairman, Shehu Gabam, that's his name, Shehu Gabam, has been suspended. They said a whole lot of things about him, high-handedness. In fact, they called him a thief at the time. And at the secretariat of the party in Abuja, there was chaos at a point when hoodlums were said to have hijacked some of the activities of the party earlier in the day. The SDP announced at that time yesterday that the suspension of Gabam alongside Nnamdi Clarkson, who is the national auditor, and Uchechukwu Chukwuma, national youth leader, will take effect from that yesterday immediately. According to a statement by Rufus Ayeniba, the SDP's national publicity secretary, the suspension were based on grave allegations of embezzlement, misappropriation, and diversion of party funds. Now, speaking just a few moments when everything was said to have happened, the alleged suspended national chairman of the party, Gabam, said he remains the national chairman of the party. Gabam was speaking, and he said nobody can remove him because he has not done anything wrong. Yes, he has not done anything wrong at all. Whatever they say he has done, they should come open and prove it. He remains the chairman of the party and nothing can stop it.
How do you suspend a national chairman? Where did the meeting take place? We agreed to have NWC meeting today by 2 o'clock to deal with some of the issues related to, including coalition, some committees that were set up that have to do with the compositions of the party and so on and so forth. Around 10:30, 11 o'clock, I was being called that some talks invaded the SB Secretariat, broke the gates, being hired by who I don't know. We have all their placards that they have risen. And of course, immediately normalcy was restored. The party started functioning fully at the full scale. I'm just coming from the party right now, directly from the party secretariat. Those who allege that they have suspended me, they were nowhere to be found. They only do electoral meetings for whatever achievement, or they want to be an agent of destabilization of a party that have worked hard to develop its name and its image to this level that we are. And let me say that those who signed the letter, the secretary, the rules are very clear. You cannot, by law and by any regulations, every communications must be within the first authorized signature, which is the chairman, and then the secretary of the party. And then if there is allegation of financial misappropriation or laundering of money, I believe he should be the number one to resign because he's under prosecution of the federal government by perjury, money laundering. I have never been one. And the public secretary that jointly signed, he has his own antecedents. His records are there. The party have been audited by INEC. External auditors have audited the party account. And the law says that you must publish it in 2 national dailies. We publish it in 2 national dailies. There is not single transaction of the party that went through the back door. And every purchase of the party are in record. And above all, there was no single transaction or expenditure that was initiated by the national chairman. Various departments make their own request of what they want to be done, including honorarium under the office of the welfare secretary. And all our party accounts will be printed and submitted for scrutiny to those that are going to investigate the case. So we have nothing to hide. I don't authorize I don't initiate expenditures. Okay? If you have been to the SDP secretary, you will understand better. First, this is the party that have furnished every NWC member with TV, with air condition, with fridge, so that they can function very well. And they are all documented on ground. Number 2, we do take care of NWC members if they have urgency that have to do with either burial, marriage, something. These are all processes that goes through the party. Even the man who alleged is a beneficiary of it. If he is in need and there's a request, we do, not just him, all the NWC members. It's a legitimate expenditure, very legitimate. We have what we call sitting allowance. After NWC sitting, there will be allowances for each. No NWC have salary. We are not on salary. They don't have any right to do what they did. There is no process that was followed. There is no single invitation letter from any security agencies to me. There is not 0%. 0%. There is none. There is no any petition queried against me by NWC members. Not even one that I know. There is not even single one that I know. I know that the combination of forces, some of the coalition members who wanted to hijack SDP at all costs are playing a role, coupled with some people in the system who believe that they don't want SDP to be part of the coalition, are also pushing for the other end, to ensure that they destabilize SDP. Nothing more, nothing less. Any accusation that have to do with the financial transaction. And don't forget, the man who signed this was also the chairman of the party at a point. He was the chairman of the party at a point. And then he was a beneficiary of anything that had to be done to the NWC members. But he excluded his name out of the petition he has made. He went and accused people who have nothing to do with anything that have to do with the expenditure of the party. Absolutely.
Wow, you heard him right there talking about Shehu Gabam, who is the chairman of the SDP, the embattled chairman now, who has been suspended by members of his executive. They claim the man is not a righteous man. So who is righteous amongst them all? Where is the righteousness amongst them all? He claimed the people who are after him are not even righteous people as well. They should be answering charges. They should be answering questions. He says, according to him, he is the only one that doesn't have a dent. No stain at all. No dent, no stain. But the guys who are after him have stains. They have dent. They are claiming he's not righteous. How can they claim that when they are also not righteous? So when when righteous men, or let me say when unrighteous people are everywhere, then how can we have righteousness take over our land? That is why we are where we are, because there is no righteousness in the land. Here is my Jack Fashek. Righteousness. Cover the earth. Can righteousness ever cover Nigeria? Because we have too many unrighteous people at the helms of affairs. Let's have this breather. When we return, we go to El-Rufai.
Love this station, Melody 100.7 FM.
Let the righteous take over the earth. Let the righteous take over this wicked world. Let the workers of iniquity be chased out of creation. Oh Lord, your righteousness. Oh Jaja, your true righteousness. Anything might happen now. Unrighteous people turning things upside down. Oh, what a great.
Ready to activate AI across your enterprise now? MuleSoft can help. It's the unified platform for integration
of them and jumping ship because of this indirect stick and carrot political approach. Majority. And that is not healthy at all.
Right. So basically,
so I'm doing what my conscience tells me at this age. I have to do that. Fix it. That's
but isn't that because some would argue? Because I mean, you didn't start at the national.
Use the back.
Use the back channels.
Back channels.
Like Nigerian politicians usually do, back channels.
No, we don't use the back channels.
You mean you don't use the back channels?
Okay, Charles.
So let me start by asking you, from the point of view of the APC, a party that you still belong to, what is your assessment of the opposition coalition that's coming together to challenge the APC and President Tinubu in 2027?
Righteousness come cover the earth, cover Nigeria.
The sun will never strike me, no day nor by night. Everything I do shall be lawful and right. Everything I do shall be lawful and right. In the sight of my Creator, in the sight of Jaja Yahweh Eshadai.
A great prayer right here. A great prayer from Majak Fashek. May his soul continue to rest in peace. These ones, they've come, they've done their thing, they've sung the kind of song that they should sing. Yeah, they've come, they've sung the kind of song that they should sing. Yeah, because it's tongue twisting thing. They've come, they've sung the kind of song they should sing, and they are still have indelible mark. Thank you for being there. Still Melody 100.7 FM. Politics on Melody. We are halfway to the top now. Thank you for being there. Now let's begin to go to one of the serious issues of the day. And it is a statement credited to former governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai, who has labeled the present government as evil. And he said he brought the evil upon Nigeria and he will try as much as possible in 2027 to make sure the evil leaves Nigeria. He claimed President Bola Tinubu doesn't even know what is happening again in Nigeria. He's confused people who founded the APC just to take over power from Jonathan in 2011, and they succeeded in it. Right now, it's about Tinubu that must leave in 2027. So El-Rufai is fighting so hard, tooth and nail, to make sure he leaves. So let's begin this way. What does El-Rufai, what does he think about the APC, the present APC? You want to know what he will say? Let's listen to what he says concerning the APC.
Nigerians are tired of the APC. We know that. We have polled that. There is 91% disapproval of this administration across the country. 91% disapproval. It's the worst in Nigeria's history. But Nigerians are looking for a credible option. Anytime I wake up and I see the Tinubu government inflicting more pain on Nigerians and just bungling governance, the simplest things in governance that I knew when I was DG of BP, these guys can't even get it together. Whenever I see that, I thank God, because I think God saved me. I'm a very lucky person. I think God saved me from the embarrassment of having to explain to be part of this disaster. The guy is gone. He's performed miserably. The economy has tanked. The security architecture has failed. There are no clear trade, industrial, and investment policies. Everything is going wrong.
Nasir El.
Then you heard him there. What he's saying is that Tinubu is gone. Tinubu is gone in 2027. Tinubu is gone. They will make sure he's gone. Now, what about the new platform? The new platform that they are forming. I mean, they named it ADA. They call it the ADA Alliance. So what do they plan to have? Do they plan to have a new party? Do they plan to register it as a new party? Or they plan to adopt a party? You know, it belongs to the SDP presently. This is what he said about their new platform.
You don't go to war with only one plan. So very early in our discussions, the leaders of the coalition took the decision that we'll not only look for existing platforms and identify one that is suitable for all.
Let's do it. I've been self-governing more than 3 years. Continued effort to support this audience. We have them day before.
Recruiting and financing viruses to multiply. This is what is happening in the Labour Party, the PDP, and even the NNPP. So many of the leaders expressed concern that perhaps the best way to avoid this, you are dealing with a mischievous government and party that is totally immoral. They will do anything to eliminate all opposition, is to register a brand new party. And the Constitution and the Electoral Acts are very, very clear about the qualifications for registering a new party. Many of us do not believe that under the current leadership of INEC, a new party will be registered, because Dr. Mahmoud Yakubu is not Jega, and President Tinubu is not Jonathan. Okay, those people in charge when the APC was registered, and many were pessimistic about the prospects of registering a new party. But we said, let's try it anyway. Let's show that INEC is not independent. Let's show that this government is interfering to ensure there is no opposition. We are pursuing both paths. If both become available, then the leadership will then sit down and consult and take their views to the plenary, and a decision will be taken. It is not a queuing system. The way these things should work is that any party that is registered will get assigned a set of officers. The requirements in the Constitution that have been repeatedly upheld in the Supreme Court are very simple. They are very easy to meet. So, you don't need the entire INEC to queue 100 applications and say, oh, we'll finish A before we come to Z. You assign teams, and look, we've project managed things like that. You can do this in no time if you want to do it. Of course, they will give those excuses, but we don't believe it. We don't believe that. And when the timelines in the Electoral Act and the Constitution are very clear, there are a number of days that INEC must respond and say, this is the defect in your application. Otherwise, the Constitution says, you are deemed to have been registered. So INEC is treading on a very narrow path here. It has an opportunity to show its independence, and it should. Is wrong, but there are opposing views. But the coalition decided that will be pursued, and that's why you saw the application. And it was a collective decision. A decision was taken, to set up committees to engage with existing platforms, as well as another committee to get all the efforts. Already in the coalition, there are about 3 groups that have made attempts to register their own party. So we said, look, come together, harmonize, and come up with one name, one party, one logo, one constitution, and they came at the last meeting. We were briefed on the name and the symbol and so on, and that team was given the go-ahead to proceed with the registration. Some leaders in the coalition prefer a new party, as I said, while some feel that we should just go into an existing party and start organizing, because the main battle begins when we have a platform.
That's what the man is saying now. Of course, you heard him there. He's saying it openly. That is what they are planning. They will just be registering a new political party. Now, if they register a new political party, what happens to his position in the SDP, where he recently moved to as the political juggernaut? So what will happen to his position in the SDP if they eventually register a new political party?
When I joined the SDP, I made it clear in my statement that even though I'm in the SDP, just like every other, I mean, Atiku Abubakar is still in the PDP. Peter Obi has not officially led Labour Party, but we all agreed that if we have consensus on a platform, we are going to give up our own legacy parties and focus on that platform. We are still not there yet. The leadership will receive a report on the engagement with the SDP as well as the other party, and then a decision will be taken. I strongly believe that the SDP is the best platform for the coalition. It has a history, it has a legacy, it has a sentimental value, and everything about it is almost perfect. The name, the logo, everything. It has a history, and I'm advocating for that amongst my colleagues. But it will be a collective decision. I will do whatever I can to ensure that we unite under one platform. Nigerians are looking for a credible option. They want to see people coming together, putting aside their differences and ambitions, and giving them an alternative to this failure of a government.
That's why he called Tinubu government a failure of a government he was part of at the time. Now, he said something there, ready to do anything to make sure Tinubu leaves office in 2027. And the question now is, he has Obi there, he himself is there, Amechi is in their coalition. Then Atiku Abubakar, everybody knows Atiku has always been nursing to be the president of Nigeria. Will these big guns who have moved to this coalition, will they be willing to jettison their own ambition to support one person ahead of 2027? This is what he said again.
I have no ambition. Okay? I just feel that having contributed to bringing about this tragedy to Nigeria by contributing to the emergence of Bola Tinubu as president, I should contribute in my last lap, okay, because I'm 65, I should be retiring. In my last lap, let me contribute towards removing this evil that I believe will destroy Nigeria if left unchecked. See, the mistake that most people make is that they think that what we are trying to do is similar to what we did in 2013 with the APC. It is not. Parties are not involved in this discussion. Okay? The opposition groups are led by individuals.
Well, first of all, it's unfortunate that the
Shola Emeka Nwajuba and Abubakar Malami, former Buhari ministers, and this group has membership across all parties. Peter Obi has his group from Labour Party as well as the PDP and so on. But it is the leaders of these groups that are in the discussion. We are not bringing parties together. We are not engaged in a merger. I am part of the leadership, but I'm not there representing DP. I'm there as an individual with some political weight, no matter how small, in my state or in the Northwest. Okay, so this is how all the groups, how the coalition is formed. It has nothing to do with parties, but we all agreed that if we're able to come to a consensus about a political party to go into, we will leave our parties and join with all our followers.
That's what El-Rufai had to say right there. Did you hear all the adjectives he used to qualify President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? We were once friends, they become foes now because all the adjectives he used to describe the president. He called him a gunner, he called him evil, he called him no idea man, he called him a failure, he called him, oh, so many names. But one man has responded to all of these that El-Rufai has to say. And who is that man? Who else? But the man from his state. He used to be a senator representing his state. I'm talking about Senator Shehu Sani. Senator Shehu Sani has criticized El-Rufai alongside his likes who are forming an opposition and forming coalition against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said the more talked about ongoing efforts by opposition leaders, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amechi, amongst others, is not a formidable coalition, but a coalition of disgruntled elements. Those who are angry that they didn't get anything in this government, that's why they are forming a coalition. The former lawmaker claimed that recent opposition coalition and the criticisms of President Bola Tinubu-led government were not grounded in genuine public interest, but simply driven by personal frustration, exclusion from power, and failed political ambition. He noted that most opposition leaders today are simply disgruntled politicians who were once a part of the same political establishment they now criticize. According to him, if they are to be in power till now and they are getting something from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all of the things they are saying now, they will not even say one thing of it. He said they will make pem. That's what he said. They will pem their mouth. That's what Shehu Sani says. Let's listen to Senator Shehu Sani.
Well, first of all, it's unfortunate that the opposition in the country are looking up to the president to solve their problems. How logical it is when you have a problem in your house, then you start blaming your neighbor or your adversary for it when you should address it. If there is a problem in the PDP, it is for the PDP to solve. There's a problem in NNPP, it's for the NNPP to solve. Is there a problem in Labour Party or SDP? It's for the SDP and Labour Party to solve. I don't know whether they are also trying to ask the president to come to their party and solve their problems. If you are in the PDP and you have people working against your party, you refuse to suspend them, you refuse to expel them, and then you decided to focus on the president as being responsible for your problem, I think you are simply being irresponsible. If you are in the SDP and you have crisis in your party and you don't fix it, and then you are looking for the president or blaming the president, trying to find a scapegoat for your problems, I think you are just not serious. So to me, as a president from a ruling party, he cannot be seen trying to fix a missile or a gun that will be directed at him. It is part of a political strategy to ensure that your adversary has so much problem within his own area that he will not be able to contend. It is not something that is hidden. If you are a politician and you want to contest elections, you need to know more about your opponent. Even in football, it happens. If Nigeria is playing Tunisia, Tunisia can send spies to know how Nigeria plays its football and then see how it can strategize to win. It's all part of politics. PDP, SDP, NNPP, Labour Party should fix their internal problems and stop looking towards the president to come and solve their problems. So that is that. And if they do that, they will now play the role as a functional opposition. If you look at the opposition today and compare the one we have in 2014, you see you don't have that common resolve, common spirit to confront a government and evict it out of power. Most of the people that paraded themselves today as opposition are people who are part and parcel of the system, and we are simply frustrated. You can see the former governor of Kaduna State. All his utterances is not about the country, it's not about the government, it's simply about his personal frustration and the failure that comes out of his sense of entitlement. He was dropped as a minister, and since then, he's so frustrated that each time he had the opportunity, he targets the president and repeats the same things he has always been saying. But for those of us from Kaduna, we know that no matter the problem of today, will not justify the evil with such a personality when he had the opportunity to do things better, and he failed to.
All right.
So
All right.
when you have a group of disgruntled elements who are frustrated and they come together, so it's not about the country, it's not about the people, it's simply about them being excluded from the system. Because the people who are now in the opposition, it's not that they philosophically differ from Tinubu. The issue is that it's not about they are now Marxist or trade unionist against a capitalist neoliberal order. They are all from the same political bourgeoisie elite class, and that they are simply excised out of power. And now they use every opportunity to recognize our challenges and to present themselves as a better alternative. Well, there is one who was, for example, you have been in power for almost 18 years, either as a minister or as a governor or as a senator or whatever. And now you come to say there is insecurity, there is hunger in the country. When you had the opportunity to do better and you failed to do it. So that is my own.
You heard him right there, Shehu Sani replying and talking about all the allegations being made by El-Rufai-led opposition party. You get to hear more, so many more. This is what you get when you listen to Politics on Melody on 100.7 FM right here in the city of Ibadan. The phone has been ringing. I know you want to react. Wow, time is ticking away. Just now, I thought I'd just spent 5 minutes. Oh my God. Let's quickly have this short breather. When I return, I'll open up the phone line because I've been seeing the phone beeping. I know you want to react to El-Rufai, you want to react to what Shehu Sani said, you want to react to what SDP is facing. How can the SDP that was clean before, now that they are talking, El-Rufai and co have moved there, they started having problems. We'll come to that very shortly, but let me quickly have this short breather. When I return, I'll open up the phone line for you.
Doing business without advertising is like winking at a girl in the dark. Do not be like a potential bachelor who's busy cutting an eye for a beautiful lady in a very dark room. Give your business the much needed publicity it deserves. Come do business with us by
and not just the best matches, we've got top analysis and
right now everywhere
of them and jumping ship because of this. If you need a platform, it should be where your conscience will be with it.
At Melody FM Ibadan, we help make your business to blow yaga yaga. Melody FM, your real home of entertainment. Stay cool with Melody.
Melody 100.7 FM. Stay cool with
Political party, that is our APC, is to me a positive development in democracy. There can be no effective democracy without opposition, which the major supposedly the opposition has failed to provide. That is the PDP, Labour, and other parties. Right. Instead, they are turning the Nigerian democracy into something else. You can see the area of decampment, that means you're telling the public out there that you have no principles. You only need a platform. And even if you need a platform, it should be where your conscience will be with you. But that is not the case. And it is very, very dangerous for democracy itself.
The voice of Ali Ndume there on the need for a virile opposition in a democracy. He said what we have now is not really good for democracy. Majority of the people we have now are not really what we can call opposition parties. Wow. Don't worry. I'm going to be taking, let me leave that of Ndume now, concerning what he said about the president and so many other things he said about the people in the APC and the presidency right now. Let me postpone that one because of time. Time is taken away. You know how time flies when I'm doing my thing here. But I just brought you his voice there concerning what he said about how opposition parties should be one of the beautiful things of democracy. Wow. Okay, before we go, let me see. Can I have 1, 2, 3 calls before I go? Because the phone has been beeping. The lines have been. I've been seeing your calls since I was talking. I know some people want to react to some of the things we've been talking about. Okay. In case you want to react before we begin to pack our bags and baggage, 0702 520 1007 and 0705 507 1007. 0705 507 1007 and 0705 507 1007. Okay, let's take this one. Hello, good evening. Hello? Is anybody there? Okay, you're not there. Let me move away from there. Now, let me say a little bit of sorry because I was supposed to have in the house today Michael Ogushino. He is the PDP spokesman for Oyo State PDP spokesman, but he promised to come around. He promised to honor our invitation, but somehow I don't know how he decided to chicken out. But for me, I cannot beg anyone to come on my show. Okay, if you give me an assurance you're coming, I'll give you the platform. But if I don't see you, my show continues. I can't miss anyone. That's one is for sure, because I'm always prepared for what I do. But don't worry, one of these days you get to have them all. You know, we'll soon get to that point where you get to see them and hear them more often, because we're gradually getting towards that time. From next year, from December now, you get to hear more of the parties, the stalwarts, the spokespeople, and the gladiators. The political gladiators this time, not the gladiators on sport. Okay? So no problem. Now, majority of the people, I have people who are outside Ibadan, outside Oyo State, who always want to be guests of this show. If you've been listening, you always hear. I have guests outside. But I said, let's localize it. That has been what I said, let me come here to do. Let's localize it. Oyo State, Ibadan, political system. But we can't force anyone. If you think you're good enough to come and talk, we'll bring you. But if you think you're maybe somehow you're chickening out, no problem. We'll do our thing. We'll always be here to do our thing. That's for sure. Okay. Let me be going now so that I can come back in the next 1 hour and 5 minutes. Don't worry, I can't take any more calls. The calls coming. No, I won't take it again. I'm sorry. Let me go now. Yes. Don't forget, Politics on Melody comes on every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. If you miss any edition, any episode, you can go on our YouTube channel, search it out, POM, Politics on Melody, and enjoy the show. Whatever of our shows that you missed, go on YouTube, on Facebook.com/Melody 100.7 FM. You definitely see the programs that you need to see there. Just type, and you will definitely find. On behalf of Daniel Adeyemi, Fortune Oba, Oyewole Adetoro. Okay, no, Wale has is going to relax. Okay, Moses is in charge now. Moses is one in charge now. Okay, so let me just have a little break of 1 hour. Let me leave it in the hands of DJ Dan. Let me call him like that, or DJ Troublemaker. That name will fit him. DJ Troublemaker. Daniel Adeyemi here. I'll be back in the next 1 hour thereabout on the cruise show. Thank you so much. My name is Pretty Adegoke, the nature's finest. I'm out. I'll see you very, very soon in the next an hour. Good evening.